Hey guys, welcome back to Startup Central. Today we're going to be talking about whether Bitcoin mining is still a good idea at the price point of Bitcoin where we are now, which is around $28,000 to $30,000 per Bitcoin. And if it is a good idea, how is what's the best way to do this? Where to buy a good miner at a good price? And are there any other strategies to make money out of this? Of course they are, and this is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So if you are interested in this subject, you have to stay until the end of this video because I'm going to be saving the best tips for the end. So without further ado, let's get started. So most of us who are in the crypto space have at some point asked ourselves, should I be mining Bitcoin? Is it a good idea? Or how much can I earn out of that? And is this a better idea than putting my money to earn yield like my stable coins? And we discussed about earning yields on your stable coins on the last video. I'm going to place a link over there. So you're probably asking, how does it compare to other products in the crypto space? Well, it's still interesting, and this is mainly an opportunity if you think that the price of Bitcoin will eventually go back up to $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 or even higher. I mean, I've heard price predictions of around $1 million per Bitcoin. So if that were to happen, of course, you want to earn as many Bitcoins as you can during this time. So I'm going to show you how to assess what's the best way to mine and how much does a miner cost these days. And towards the end of this video, as I was mentioning earlier, I'm going to share with you another tip on how to earn more money by mining Bitcoin. So to better explain this, I'm going to share my screen as usual with you, and I'm going to show you where I buy my miners. And this is called Compass Mining. I am not paid by them. I don't get a referral link or anything. It's just a place where I found I could mine Bitcoin in an easy way, where I don't have to worry about heat, I don't have to worry about noise, and about where to store my miners. And since I'm currently not living in the US, I don't have to be worrying about someone coming into like where I have them hosted and actually stealing the miners. So I'll tell you all about this in a moment. So I've talked about Compass Mining. There's other places where you can actually host your miners. But I've been mining with them for at least 6 months, I think, and the experience has been really good. Now, in this page, if you click on hardware, it's going to take you to this page where you can actually find all the miners that are available. Now, they divide this by the miners you can host at your home or at your facility, and these are going to be cheaper. But then you need to, if you're living outside the US, you will need to import them. So these are normally in the US. So if you are, let's say, importing them to France or whatever you're living, you're probably going to have to pay import taxes. So I'm not sure. You have to consult with whoever's an expert in import taxes in your country. But if I were to import this to Mexico, where I'm currently based, I would have to pay around 20% taxes. So you need to take that in consideration if you're going to be hosting at your home. Now, what's the best way to decide whether to host at your home or in one of the places where this company has the availability? Well, one thing, what's the cost of the energy where you're living? If it's lower than the energy that this company provides you, the rates that they get for you, then potentially it's a better option to host. Second thing you need to take in consideration is what's the cost of the miner, especially if you get it when you get it to your place. So that's the second consideration. And the third, of course, it's which miner. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on in this video. So let's take the regular, like the Antminer S19J Pro, which is a really favored miner. So you can see it's 104 terahash per second, and it's at $7,450. If you go up here and you host it with them, the closest thing they have is this one at $7,800, which is $400 more. So that's one thing to consider. But if you import that and then you end up paying $2,000 more to import, then this is going to be cheaper to host it with them. Now, the second thing you need to do is compare all these miners to see which one is the best for you to purchase. And it's not always the purchase price, the price that you need to take in consideration. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to know. One thing is, what is the terahash per seconds that this miner will hash for you? The higher the number, the better, because it will mine more Bitcoin per day or per hour, whatever the comparison is for you. I usually compare per day. Then, second thing you need to do is the power consumption. Now, the higher the cost of the electricity you are sourcing, the more important this becomes. So if you're paying, let's say like in Mexico City, you would pay 20 cents per kilowatt hour, 20 US dollar cents, then this becomes crucial. If you're paying, let's say you have free energy because you have solar power and wind power and you don't care about that, then I wouldn't care too much about this. But most of us will have to care in one way or another about power consumption, and this will affect whatever you're earning every month. And of course, the last thing you need to take in consideration is how much does the miner cost. So as you can see here, we're going to be comparing these two, and the price difference is not so high. It used to be a little bit higher, but right now it's not so much. So there's a $300 difference between these two. But this one will hash 10% more, and waste around 12 to 13% more energy. So when this becomes important is when the price of Bitcoin is lower. As the price of Bitcoin goes up, the energy becomes less relevant than the hash rate. Because when the price of Bitcoin, let's assume it's $100,000 per Bitcoin, then you would want to earn more Bitcoin. So you are more inclined to get faster miners, even if they waste more energy, because the price of energy is not going up. But the price of Bitcoin is. So, okay, now that we know this, particularly Compass Mining has a score that will kind of explain to you which is the best miner for you. And they only do this with miners that mine Bitcoin. They do have miners that mine like HS5, but they don't have that score. So if you see here, the score is more or less the same. So in theory, it wouldn't make a difference between buying this one and this other one. So I'll explain to you which one I would choose if I were buying a miner right now. So if you click on buy now here and buy now here, it's going to take you to this web page and this web page. So we can compare things. And this is interesting because this one, if you host it with Compass Mining, it will be hosted in Texas. They used to tell you which facility within Texas. Now they only tell you Texas, and they no longer tell you what the energy cost is. So you need to calculate that yourself. And then if you go to the other miner, it will also be hosted in Texas. So same thing. Though, the way you can compare the price of energy is here. In here, per month, you would be paying $186 for energy. So every month, that's kind of a rent you need to pay. And in here, you would be paying $166. So that's $20 less per month. Now, the good thing with Compass Mining is that the cost of energy will also cover the cost of hosting your miner. Of course, it doesn't take much space, but the thing is they deal with the noise, which is a ton of noise, and they deal with the heat. And also the other thing I like about them is that if your miner goes down, you can actually contact them and they will reboot it, or if they need repairs, of course you have to pay for the repair parts, but they will repair it for you. So if you have technical experience and you want to host it at your home, that might be a good idea. But if you're not technically inclined, then you want to host with an experienced vendor like Compass Mining. So in here, you see this is the price to buy the miner. You have to leave a 1-month security deposit, which covers, it's calculated in terms of energy, but it will cover everything I just mentioned. And then the first month of hosting. And then it says hosting term length 3 years. So this means that during this 3-year period, they will the price, this price 166 will be respected. After 3 years, a lot of things could happen, but for the time being, that will be true for hosting with them. Now, how do we know the price of energy? I'll show you. So here we have our standard calculator, and what we're going to be doing is we know the power consumption of this miner, which is 3050 watts, and we know that the monthly payment is $166. So I'm going to get a little technical with you guys, but this is really important because I want you to know what's the cost of energy you're paying with this hosting facility. Now, Compass Mining used to provide this number. I don't know why they no longer provide it, but it's really easy to calculate. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be dividing the powers, which is 3050 watts. So let's click 3050 and divide that by 166.9, 6.9, and that's going to bring us to $18. But you need to divide that by 24 hours. So let's divide that by 24 hours. And then what you're going to be doing is divide that by 100, because this is calculated by kilowatt hour. So kilowatt is 1,000, and then actually it's divided by 10. So it's the price of the energy is going to be 7.6 cents. Now, why is this important? Because there's a website where you can actually calculate if it's profitable to mine with this setting. So I'm going to show you that in a second. If you do the same numbers for the other miners, it's going to be taking you to 7.6 cents for the cost of the kilowatt hour at this Texas facility, where Compass will host your miners. If you want to host at your home, you also need to know how much the energy company or the power company will charge you for every kilowatt hour. Now, here we're going to be going to this other website. It's called ASIC Miner Value. And in here, you can actually choose the miner. So I've chosen the same two, but I will have to go all the way to the bottom of this web page and enter the kilowatt hour, the cost of kilowatt hour at my facility. So in this case, in Compass, it's 7.6, but it will not allow me to enter 7.6. So I will enter 0.08. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the other miner. And the default setting is 12 cents per kilowatt hour. I'm going to lower it to 0.08. I'm going to click on apply, and then it's going to reload the page, and it's going to be telling me how many dollars per day I'm going to be getting off this miner. So if you see with the Watts miner, I'm going to be getting $9.2 per day. And with this one, I'm going to be getting $7.55, which if you do a little calculation, all we need to do is divide 9.20 divided by 7.55, which is what you're getting, in the first miner divided by the second miner, and we're getting 21% more Bitcoin per day with the Watts miner, and we're spending just a little more dollars, not 20% more dollars, for the monthly payment to host this. So if I were thinking that Bitcoin will go to $10,000, then I would probably not use a miner at all. I would probably wait until Bitcoin goes to $10,000 and then buy Bitcoin at that point. But given that I expect Bitcoin to go up in the long term, or actually in the medium term, or even when we're out of crypto winter, which is more or less in a year and change, I want to get the most Bitcoin before we get to the Bitcoin halving event, which is going to be happening in a year and a half, more or less. So now I'm going to show you why it's important to know the price of Bitcoin, because this miner that will pay you $9.20 per day, if you up the kilowatt hours to whatever I'm paying, let's say in Mexico City, I'm going to be making a good comparison. I'm going to click on apply, and then I'm going to be earning just 6 cents of a dollar per day, because the energy is more costly where I live. So why would I want to host a miner at my home with all the noise, with all the heat, and then I have to make sure the electricity installation is something that works for this power consumption. And then if something goes wrong, I need to hire a technician. So why would I go through all that, complications if I actually can host for far cheaper, and actually click ahead and click on 8 cents. And then at this point, I don't know why it changed now. It tells me I'm going to be getting $10 per day. This is probably because the price of Bitcoin went up. And of course, this is calculated with the price of Bitcoin. Now, the thing you need to know is the way this is calculated is if you sold your Bitcoin every day at the current price, then you would get a set amount of dollars, which is what this website explains. As the price of Bitcoin goes up, this amount of dollars will go higher. Now, here's the two strategies I'm leaving for the end. You could actually, if you were mining, you could actually sell this Bitcoin every day and then swap it for dollars, and you will be making sure how many dollars you're getting every day. But guys, if you're thinking that the price of Bitcoin could actually go to let's say $50,000, that's almost 70% higher than it is right now. So why sell your Bitcoin right now if you can hold those Bitcoins until a further date? Now, if you think that Bitcoin is going to be going to $1 million, I don't want to tell you, you're not going to be earning $10 per day. If you multiply that by the number of times that $1 million is more than $30,000, you're probably going to be earning around $500 per day when the time comes to cash your Bitcoin. That's my strategy number one. So if you think Bitcoin is going up, which most of us think, then hold your Bitcoin, don't sell. It doesn't matter if you're not earning per day, you're going to be paying your monthly rent, but it's not that much in the big scheme of things. Second thing, guys, these miners, and I'm going to share my screen again. These miners you see here, like this one, SJ19 Pro. I actually purchased one of these. It mined 104 terahash per second. I bought it at around $12,000 when the price of Bitcoin was around $50,000. So one thing you can do to get more money is buy. If you're not intending to mine for the long term, you can actually buy the miner, get it to mine something every day, and then as the price of Bitcoin goes up, the price of these miners will most possibly go up. How much? Around 50% more. So it's like investing in real estate, guys. If you purchase a home in the US 2 years ago, you're getting your rent, but now the price of your home appreciated, so you're getting more money if you sell your home. It's the same thing with the miners, guys. If you buy miners when the price of Bitcoin is down, when the price of Bitcoin goes up, then you can sell them for a profit. And you will also get the profit of the money you have mined during the price of Bitcoin going sideways. So I think those are really two good ways to earn money. And this is comparable to investing in real estate, which is what I love, because real estate will go up and your rent will go up. And as the price of Bitcoin recuperates and goes to $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, you will cash money in both arenas: the price appreciation of your miner and the price of Bitcoin going up. Now, the last thing I want to tell you guys, overall in this strategy of earning money with miners, and I hope you hadn't heard about this strategy about selling your miners for a higher price, is every year the mining companies will create more efficient miners. So if you hold this miner for 5 years, of course, the price will probably not go up and up and up all the time. As more efficient miners come to the market, then less efficient miners will go down in price, even if the price of Bitcoin goes up. So I am looking to swap my miners for more efficient miners as they become widely available. So there is this one, and I'm going to share my screen again. This one here, this is an Antminer S19XP. It will mine 140 terahash per second. So this is 40% more Bitcoin than this other Antminer. But if you see, the power consumption is basically the same. It's just actually a little bit less. Now, at the current price, $13,500, it's quite a cheaper investment than this one. So I could actually get 2 of these miners for the price of this one. But if you wait, let's say some 6 months, every miner will go the price of miners will go down, especially now that Intel has stated they are working on chips to make Bitcoin mining more efficient. So those are my strategies, guys. I hope they were useful to you so you can make your own decision on whether to do Bitcoin mining. My take is this is way more profitable than investing in real estate. And as you guys know, I am an investor in real estate. So real estate is my safe play. But this is, of all the crypto space, this is one of the safest plays, other than just investing in a stable coin on a big exchange like Binance. But you can earn a way more if you expect the price of Bitcoin to go up than you would earn with a stable coin, or than you would earn with your staking in Binance or Nexo or Celsius or elsewhere. So if this video was useful to you guys, don't forget to like it and subscribe to this channel so you can learn how to invest like a Silicon Valley investor would. See you in the next video. Bye-bye now.